Good day everyone, I'm Janice Bantol and today I'll be discussing an essential topic under tourism and hospitality law, the formalities of entry in exit from the Philippines. As we begin, let me share a quote that captures the heart of this topic. A nation that controls its borders, protects its sovereignty, upholds its laws, and secures the dignity of its people. Let's now begin by understanding why these formalities matter. Introduction. The ability to control the movement of people across national borders is a sovereign right. This presentation will explore the laws, policies, and documentation involved when foreign nationals enter the Philippines or Filipinos leave the country. These formalities are important for national security, public order, tourism, migration, and investment. We will also examine real cases that highlight these rules in practice. Admission requirements. To be admitted into the Philippines, a foreign national must present a valid ID, an expired passport, and a corresponding visa. There are different visa types such as tourist, student, investor, and pre-arranged employment visas. It's important to note that a visa does not guarantee entry. It only allows travel to the country. Final admission is still at the discretion of immigration officers. Pre-arranged employment visas. A pre-arranged employment visa is guaranteed to foreigners whose expertise is not locally available. The employer must prove that no Filipino is competent or willing to take the job. Requirements include a valid employment contract, work permit, and proof of the company's financial capacity. The goal is to ensure that employment-based entry is beneficial to the country. Balikbayan Program. The Balikbayan Program is designed for former Filipinos and overseas Filipino workers or OFWs. They and their families are allowed visa-free entry into the country for up to 1 year. This program strengthens ties between Filipinos abroad and their homeland, while also promoting tourism and investment. Immigration policies, Chinese and Indian nationals. Chinese and Indian nationals have unique immigration policies. Chinese nationals now benefit from streamlined visa processes, while Indian nationals must generally apply from their country of origin. These changes reflect the Philippines' evolving diplomatic and economic relationship with these countries. Passport requirements. A passport is the most basic travel document serving as proof of identity and nationality. The Philippines issues three types: diplomatic, official, and regular. Passports must be valid for at least 6 months. Lost or damaged passports should be reported immediately to local authorities or embassies. Travel documents and identity. When a passport is not available, a travel document may be issued instead. These are usually for returning Filipinos who lost their passports, foreign spouses of Filipinos, or stateless persons. However, these documents are temporary and valid for specific travel needs only. Fantasy and camouflage passports. Fantasy passports are created by imaginary nations or organizations, while camouflage passports use names of defunct countries like the USSR. These are not recognized under the Philippine or international law. Attempting to use them may result in denial of entry or deportation. Visa requirements. Foreign nationals from more than 40 countries must secure visas before arriving. Again, a visa allows travel but not automatic entry. Immigration officers assess whether the person satisfies all conditions. It's a careful balance between hospitality and security. Special visa programs. To attract investments, the Philippines offers special visa programs in economic zones like Subic, Clark, and Cagayan. These include visa-free entry and permanent residency for qualifying investors. Executive Order 63 also offers multiple entry visas to tourism-related investors with a minimum investment of $50,000. Alien registration requirements. Foreigners staying over 30 days must register with the Bureau of Immigration. This applies to students, workers, and dependents. Failure to register can lead to penalties or even deportation. It ensures that authorities can monitor legal presence and compliance. Exclusion and deportation. Some individuals may be excluded due to health conditions, criminal backgrounds, or involvement in immoral activities. Deportation, on the other hand, is the removal of someone who violated immigration laws after entry. In the Niria case, the Supreme Court emphasized that deportation orders must follow proper timelines and due process. Exit requirements and immigration clearance. Before foreign national can leave the Philippines, they are generally required to obtain an immigration clearance certificate or ECC. This document is issued by the Bureau of Immigration and confirms that the foreigner has no pending obligation with the Philippine government. These obligations can include unsettled taxes, unresolved court cases, or immigration violation. However, there are specific exceptions to this rule. Minors under 13 years old, transient visitors who have stayed less than 15 days, and deportees are typically not required to secure an ECC. The ECC requirements differ depending on the type of traveler. For instance, tourists may need to show valid visas and proof of legal entries, while overseas Filipino workers, FWs, and resident partners may have to provide more documentation such as tax clearance, ACRI cards, or proof of employment. The main goal is to ensure that all obligations have been settled before leaving the country. Exit requirements and immigration clearance. Before foreign national can leave the Philippines, they are generally required to obtain an immigration clearance certificate or ECC. This document is issued by the Bureau of Immigration and confirms that the foreigner has no pending obligation with the Philippine government. These obligations can include unsettled taxes, unresolved court cases, or immigration violation. However, there are specific exceptions to this rule. Minors under 13 years old, transient visitors who have stayed less than 15 days, and deportees are typically not required to secure an ECC. The ECC requirements differ depending on the type of traveler. For instance, tourists may need to show valid visas and proof of legal entries, while overseas Filipino workers, FWs, and resident partners may have to provide more documentation such as tax clearance, ACRI cards, or proof of employment. The main goal is to ensure that all obligations have been settled before leaving the country. Conclusion. In conclusion, immigrant laws exist to balance national security with the country's economic and cultural interests. Whether entering as a tourist, student, worker, or investor, or exiting as an OFW or returning resident, everyone must follow proper legal procedures. These formalities help protect the dignity of our borders while welcoming the world with open arms. Before I end, let me emphasize that immigration law is not just about controlling borders, it's about defining who we are as a nation. Every passport check, every visa issued, and every entry granted represents a decision to uphold our values of order, fairness, and sovereignty as a future tourism professionals and law-abiding citizens. May we always understand and respect this system not just as a rule to follow but as responsibilities we share in building a safe, welcoming, and lawful Philippines.